Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Bob, Trade Genius, the 31st of March. And what a crazy, crazy day today. So let me go in here and let's take a peek together. And so let me go out here and look at daily. This is the ES. So this is becoming a wall or a ceiling right now on the rise of the market. It hit into our supply zone here, and we pushed down, and we pushed back into the 144, which is a very, very important bull bear line in our view. And so now it needs to hold. And so looking at today, normally today, Thursday, would have been a down day, and I would have played it that way. Um, Ahead of time, except it was the last day of the month, last day of the quarter. 80% they've been up, and but today they sold this thing off pretty good. Look at this day; it was just basically what's called a trend day down, and so it never got over the daily 140. I mean, 15-minute 144. Every time it tried to get into the supply zone and flip the range, it couldn't do it, and it just kept dumping, 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 dumping. And then we got to close here. Now, I expect that much of this is going to be retraced tomorrow. But if not, then kind of alarm bells are going off into maybe this short covering rally is over, and we're going to be pushing back down here in anticipation of the rate increases to come. So this is something to bear in mind. It's a little scary, or it could have just been a what we call a crazy Ivan move. We dumped down because at the end of the quarter, we pop back up at the beginning of the new quarter. First day of the month is usually the most bullish day of the month. We'll see if we get a follow through on that or not. So just keep that in mind here. It's a little bit uh, for me, a little nerve wracking because I just don't know which way it's going to go. And we are at resistance, and we did have a big short covering rally. So I'm monologuing here, but just don't know what we're going to do with it. So we just have to play it by ear. But my expectations will come back up and we'll at least touch this area here. But if not, then we got to be prepared to get ready to get on the short side again. And I'll talk about some of those opportunities in a minute. So oil, they uh, they played the we're gonna dump oil onto the market game, but I think it's a short lived issue because we have a problem here in oil land in that we're not producing enough of it, and we're draining our strategic reserves. And the strategic reserves are it's filled with heavy oil. It's high sulfur oil. It's not what we normally produce. Light sweet, which is easy to refine. This is harder to refine, and it's going to be um, more expensive for you. And when they run out of it, I think we have 45 days left, like 35 now. They're pumping it every day. They're just dumping it, dumping it. They're trying to kill this speculation in the oil market. But look, they're fighting against Saudi Arabia and Russia and a world that has high demand for the oil. So I think, between now and July, we're going to make new highs in oil, even though they may push it down. But this has been a floor right here, just like the ceiling on SPY and ES. This has been the floor for oil right here, and they're having a hard time getting through there. They tried like crazy today, and last earlier in the week, and then a couple weeks ago, but they can't do it. And if they can't get it down, then you're going to start seeing it move up. And in fact, the rate of change on the moving averages are starting to climb again, and that could be a problem. So keep an eye on oil. I'm still bullish energy. Uh, you know, the Democrats always like to take the cheap way out of everything. They want to take the painless way short term, but it's going to be long term problematic for all of us. Now, speaking of what the administration wants to do, um, here's LAC. We had great trades on it uh, earlier this week. I don't know if I showed you this chart before, but this is my weekly chart, and this is what LAC is in the process of doing. So it's an ABC pattern. Let me zoom out. Started back here in July, August of 2021. It peaked in the end of November of 2021. We consolidated fairly flat consolidation, and we took a low down in here in March 14th, and then here's the ABC pattern that comes out of it. My voice is hoarse. I've been talking all day, so I apologize in advance. Okay, where the heck are you? Why are they doing that to me? Here it is. So, so you take the ABC pattern, you measure the A pattern, and then you do a parallel track here with the C move. And so my expectation is 54.64 by the middle end of July. But man, it's popping and popping. So it's ahead of it now. It's coming up on a double top here, top of the A move. And so we'll see if that holds it or if it pushes back and makes a more gradual climb. But we've been trading this. We went back in it again. The Biden administration is going to spend buku bucks. He wants to do a defense authorization approach to get EV batteries into the marketplace domestically produced. That takes lithium, takes cobalt, takes nickel, and it speaks of another trade we just took, and that is in PLM. Okay, you sense my theme here. So we bought PLM, and I just wrote this here. These are notes to myself. This is when we bought the trade. This is what they make. Okay, nickel, cobalt, iron, copper, palladium, and gold, and they're U.S. They're in Minnesota. And I just wrote this out when I put this out for us. We bought it last week. I said it's shaping to be a perfect back test. Heat stayed elevated, and we had starting the acceleration here on the moving average. Money flow stayed strong. My heat indicator and my trend band stayed good. And then look at these pops. There I go to the daily, the weekly. It's a little crazy. So let me move this out of the way. So here's the rip. Okay, and so here's the double top. Okay, so that's the opportunity. We actually closed out on this today. I was pushed up my thing to 5, but I just said, we made 16% on this thing in a couple days, and it's good enough for me. And the way this market's been going, just take these trades and make your money. These things will pull back, and we'll do it again, and rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So, oh, that's my. You got to see my bot here on the futures. So we run a personal bot overnight on the futures. It's not active yet. It's just telling me that something signaled. I don't trade the bot until we get closer to Asia close, and we do it overnight. Something we'll probably offer in the future. We're just back testing a bunch of things, making sure it's going to make people money before we do it. So at this point, I'm just going ahead and using my own dough and see if it's worth all our while to do. So far, so good. We'll have to see. We have to cycle it through a full market approach too. Right now it's easy when market goes up, it's easy to make money. Market goes down, let's see how good my bot is. So we're just kind of waiting on that right now, but feel pretty good about it. So anyway, last week we had a trade, the same kind of trade. This is one of our algos that we look at. Got confirmation on the algo, and we bought rail, took profit on that really fast. And this is the market we're in. You look for things that are consolidating, squeezing, and then get it before they make the major league pop. Okay, so let's look at gold. Gold was actually up today. I think it was. Maybe it went down already. Yeah, it was up until, yeah, it was up yesterday, and then they popped it down today. It just it gets disgusting what they do with gold. But the miners were up until the end of the day, until that last minute swoon kind of brought everything down. Like I said, you can't really, you know, next week's going to be better tell where everything is. This week was all about rebalancing. So we'll just see what happens with that. Let me just try to see some trades here that might be of interest to us on a go-forward basis. We also had a trade on that 8 p.m. I didn't see it at the finish here. It was up earlier in the day. Yeah, it popped. So we're up right now, and this trade is up 10% for us right now. My candles are faded out because I just don't need to see the price action as clearly as I need to see my trends and my algos. So we had a nice trade on this one. We're still in it. I still think 191 is my target. I think it's going to come here and try to tag the 144. We'll hop out, and if we do, we'll make 20% on that trade. And let's see what else is out there we like. And I don't know if I talked about this yesterday, but UVIX and SVIX are trading now. And we're going to start doing some cool things with that here in the very near future. Now, going over into my telechart. Oh, by the way, tomorrow's the first of the year, first of the month. It's also unemployment report, too. So we're just getting hit with report after report after report. Yeah, so here's my APM. BTU came back. It was flat today, but coal's going to do well. We had a great day. Uranium, if you guys don't own uranium, you better own it before this thing gets away from you. The analysts are starting to raise all their price targets on it now, into the 40s. Our view is going to be in the 50s. They're going to have to raise it again. I feel very good about that. Another trade that we have on that we're making money on is CFVI. It keeps trying to do these pops. And I'll go into my other chart here to show you this. So CFVI has been doing this kind of crazy dance here during the day. They're doing these pops. And depending on how much you pay attention, you can make some 4 or 5% on these things like every day. This is ridiculous. So I don't trade that, but look at this. Boom, boom, boom. So I don't know if somebody's trying to light the match and try to get CFVI to go, but I own some, and I'm waiting for this thing to flip. This is this is the Rumble, the thing to compete against YouTube and things of that nature. But somebody's trying to get this spark going on CFVI. We'll see what happens with that. Let's see here. Go back to my other telecharts here. Is that we have talked about LAC. Oh, here's another one that you're going to have to keep an eye on. We had a good trade on this one. Talked about this. It's not going away. It's a rare earth miner, US. So pay attention to it. I think you're going to like it. Okay, one of the two shorts I have on right now is I have SARK on. It's not an official trade yet, but going into next week, I'm going to start building the position up bigger and also uh, pushing it out to our subscribers so we can take advantage of when this market rolls over. And I think when this market rolls over, it's potentially to get pretty ugly. This administration just all over the place. And Russia's throwing hand grenades out there in the world, literally and figuratively. And I don't think the West is prepared. They forced Russia into an action that they weren't prepared for the consequences, or maybe they were and they want to create chaos for us all. Who knows? You just can't trust these people anymore. They're not. They do not have our best interests at heart. Let me put it that way. Um, Pop up here real fast to see if anything else catches my eye. So nothing that we haven't already chased. Like I said, we had a big day on PLM. Okay, I'm also in Weatherford, and it's also coming back up. Even though oil's getting wild, they haven't priced the oil in at this level with the analysts. So these XLE and all the oil companies are gonna still glide higher, I think, in the next couple months. So just keep that in mind. And then one last one. Here's another lotto ticket for you guys. I don't know if I talked about this one yesterday, but it finally broke out. It's another U.S. miner. It's the antimony, and we had some people drive this thing in double last year, 2 years ago, when this thing did its last lotto dance. So it might be one you want to throw a little bit at and see what happens to it. And then, of course, we talked about CCJ, BTU, APM. These are all good, and these are all their stocks I own in either my IRA or in my trading account, depending on what I'm trying to accomplish. So that is that. I'll let you guys go. I have something tomorrow. Try to get Phil again for the weekend, and we'll do a crypto roundup for you guys. And if you guys have any questions, throw them in the comments. The podcast is for you guys and my subscribers. I'll do some more education stuff too, and occasionally I'll go off with Chartland and talk about just stuff in life and stuff like that. Because I think we're going to have to build a community here to support each other because it's going to be different. And we don't have, I don't think we have our leadership do not have our back. Okay. They're very much involved in creating some sort of new world, and they don't really care about your suffering. So we'll have to take care of ourselves, and then we're going to have to let the politicians know that they actually are servants and not authoritarians. That's going to take work and effort. So, anyway, thanks, guys. I'll catch you later. Bye bye.